What's going on, everybody? Welcome into this edition of From the 50 live from the St. Louis, Missouri studios here for the divisional round, for the second part of the divisional games here on Sunday. You got Zach Zook to my left. You got Big Webb. You got Nick in Reno, Nevada. Nick Tolley behind the ones and twos. Gentlemen, we got another great week of NFL football, playoff football here.
Feels good, man. Feels good.
We actually had a good day yesterday for once. All of us. We all hit.
Usually doesn't happen that way.
Yeah, that doesn't happen. And Tolly's family is partying in the streets up there in Buffalo.
That's right.
I think it's the first time in show history that the panel clean swept multiple games and was right on every single pick. I don't think that's ever happened.
Has that ever? Yeah, and usually we're all against each other somehow.
Because, I mean, it's like impossible for all of us to go 7-0, but so it's a smaller sample size because it's only really the playoffs, but all of us went 2-0, so we were a combined 8-0 on Saturday. How about that?
It's kind of nice, too. It's like, oh, wow, we're all on a team for once. It's,
Yeah.
you know, we always bicker at each other and yell at each other, and now we're like all together. It's like a team.
And nobody's cranky. Everybody's got a smile and a glow this morning.
You know, when you texted, though, yesterday, when we were kind of confirming all the picks, I did have an inkling. I was like, hey, maybe I want to switch one. I said, no, I think I'll just hang out.
Yeah, we all hit yesterday on the Green Bay Packers, minus 6.5 on that one. Beat Buffalo 32-18. Sorry, not Buffalo. They beat the Rams 32-18. Buffalo then beats the Ravens. Lamar Jackson gets hurt. Bills get it done, though, and they cover the 2.5. So it was a good day for the From the 50 panel yesterday's game. So we'll see if that continues going into Sunday. I have a feeling, because I heard this on the radio last night, and I think they're right. There's always one of the 2 days in divisional round that's crazy. So we kind of had the public one yesterday. A lot of people expected Buffalo and the Packers to win. Now you got the Browns on the Cinderella story going on. You got Drew Brees against Tom Brady. That game's already going to be crazy, I think. So I think Sunday's going to be the more wild game out of the 2 days.
Bring on the crazy, man. Absolutely.
Makes it
Bring
more
it
fun.
on.
I hope they're
Let's
both
go.
absolutely insane.
Yeah, I think they will be. And that makes it more exciting. I mean, I imagine that, we'll talk about it later, but Tampa and New Orleans could be a shootout.
That could be so fun. I mean, it's been built up. It's you got Drew Brees and Tom Brady, and I think Al Michaels made the joke yesterday. I don't know if you had the game sound on, Tolly, watching your Bills, but he made the joke that it was probably going to be sponsored by AARP. Because of how old the quarterbacks are. It's obviously the last time we're going to see them matched up. And Tom Brady, never lost to a team 3 times in a season. It's just going to be great, great football.
Yeah, no, it'll be a good one. And imagine this could possibly be the last game Drew Brees ever plays in the NFL.
Yeah. Just
let that sink in. It's been wild to kind of think about that too.
Yeah. Every year we look at Breeze and we say, hey, he keeps coming back, and I think I've been saying he's got a soft arm for 5 years. I really have. You know, he just finds a way to get it done. This year, injured as hell, still keeps coming. Great athlete, great for that city, and just an all around good dude.
Yeah, no, for sure. So we'll talk about that game later on, give you our picks for the Sunday matchups. But first, let's get to some other NFL news that came into the weekend. Urban Meyer officially now the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's officially signed, so it looks like the Jagwagon will have Urban Meyer at the helm. They're going to have Trevor Lawrence there as their franchise quarterback, pending some crazy stuff in the draft. What are your guys' initial thoughts for Urban Meyer to Jacksonville?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I was a little surprised. I saw the rumors, and I saw Jacksonville was courting him, and I thought it was pretty obvious that the Cons wanted to get him, but I was a little surprised that Urban wanted to do it. I mean, I'm not surprised that he came back coaching because when you believe, like when Urban says he's going to retire, that word goes about as far as I can throw it. But I was surprised he decided to come back with Jacksonville, which I think is, obviously a franchise that has a history of losing, right? And so this is a guy that doesn't need to. I mean, his reputation's basically set in stone. I don't think if he fails in Jacksonville, anybody will really look at him any differently. His reputation can only go up, I suppose, but he doesn't need the money, Like, I don't know what the motivation is for Urban at this stage of his career with, his supposed health issues. I was a little surprised that he wanted to come out of retirement to not only jump to the NFL, but go to an an NFL situation, which, yeah, you got a lot of picks, and you're going to get, the number one overall. You're going to get a shot at a quarterback, and Urban loves Trevor Lawrence. So obviously the allure was Trevor Lawrence, but if it was me, I just don't know why he wanted to come back and take the Jags job of all jobs in the NFL.
Nick, how do you feel about this whole Jacksonville thing? I mean, you
I
keep flip-flopping.
We after taking a year off, we tried out Denver a little bit with Drew Lock. Wasn't a great year with those guys. I mean, but we had to do it. We had to they get rid of our two best players, and I say our because yes, I'm recommitted to the Jagwagon and Jalen Ramsey and Leonard Fournette. But yeah, we are. Despite even if they
Jalen Ramsey doesn't play for them anymore.
Even if they only win 5 games, that's what I said. They traded him away, traded him and Fournette away.
Oh, it's getting spicy already here on Sunday.
Yeah. That's hence the reason I jumped off the Jagwagon is because they got rid of
so they get rid of their good players and Nick Lee is classic fan.
Yeah, but now that we have a new head coach and getting the first overall pick and $80 million in cap space, even if we only win 5 games the next 3 years, we are 110% committed to Jagwagon. So even when they're losing and getting their ass kicked and going 0-16 next year, I will stand by them.
I appreciate and respect the commitment. I really do.
I don't.
Why not?
Mainly because, I give Tolly shit, but the guy's from Buffalo, so he was a Patriots fan. Now he goes to Buffalo.
I don't care.
Yeah, but I was a Jaguars fan.
I was a secret Bills fan for a couple
I was a Jaguars fan.
He's closeted Bills fan.
The day St. Louis left, I just took this year off. So I just recommitting, It's like a breakup that you've been dating for 4 years. You go out, you try something new, date around a little bit, and then eventually you're like, it's the love of your life, so you get married. See,
so
we tested out Denver with Drew Lock, and that sure didn't work out this year. So now
tested out, as in they weren't good, so you bailed.
So what I get out of that is Nick's dating Drew Lock.
No,
Yeah.
That's what I got.
dating the Broncos offense.
Urban's been quick to win, but also quick to quit. What do you think happens first? They win a Super Bowl or he quits?
He quits for sure. He's only going to go in there and get the pieces to get things started. Like I said in a text earlier this week, this situation is either boom or bust. Either it goes exceptionally well or it's a complete catastrophe. But with Trevor Lawrence coming or Justin Fields, whoever the quarterback's going to be next year, not going to be Gardner Minshew. I'm going to have to get some tape and take my Minshew jersey and put Lawrence over it, and like they used to do, or take some duct tape and put that over. But I mean, they got some good pieces on both sides of the ball. Certainly, they got rid of all their best pieces on both sides of the ball, but that gives them a lot of cap space. And Jacksonville, albeit maybe not going to win next year, still a nice place to play. You're still down playing in Florida, but I don't know why Urban Meyer would take this job over the Chargers job. That is the question. Maybe because he has a little bit more flexibility, but if he's trying to win, why would you not go to Los Angeles and take that job if it was available? I don't know. Maybe it could have been a money thing. Maybe Shad promised him more cash. And at the end of the day, if he really did want to leave his cush job at Fox Sports or wherever he's at, it really you wouldn't think it would be about a money thing. But I don't know. To me, it seems kind of interesting that he takes the Jaguars job over the Chargers job, but maybe it just means he has more control.
It must be nice to be, an NFL coach, and you can decide whether to take the media job or the head coaching job in the NFL. Like, where people like me, Nick, and Zook all go to school for it, and we still have to fight with NFL coaches. Like, you know what? I'm bored with this. I'm going to go back to coaching. Well, good for you. I would kill for the Fox Sports job, you motherfucker. Congratulations.
Well, TJ, they can offer a lot more analysis into the game than we can, and so...
Yeah, I played flag football in high school. I played JV. Like, who else would have better analysis than me?
and this is interesting because Urban Meyer is a college coach through and through at Ohio State and Florida. So first time coming to the NFL, we've seen this project happen before with Nick Saban, with the Dolphins, where it didn't really work out. And some guys are just better as college coaches. Some guys are just better as NFL coaches. And so that's what's going to be really interesting is, can Urban Meyer make that transition, and can he get that locker room to get behind him?
Go ahead.
But this hire, though, and we've seen it here in St. Louis in coaching transitions. When you got a shit football team and you're trying to make something of it, you got to sell tickets, right? So they sign Urban Meyer. That's sexy. That sells tickets. But you got to give these guys some players. You got to give them some beef on the lines, man, in the trenches, and get these Fournette type people back. You got to get them. You got to give them some recipe to cook the meal. And Urban Meyer's a great start, but you're right. He's going to have a shit record next year until they get shit going.
Nick mentioned that, how do these college coaches translate to the NFL? And Tolly found an article that had a whole rundown of this about the current coaches, some current, some former, that came from college and how they're doing currently. Matt Rule from Baylor to the Panthers, currently 5-11 since he's gone to the NFL. Cliff Kingsbury, 13-18-1. Bill O'Brien, 52-48. Chip Kelly, 26-21. Doug Marrone, 15-17. And then it gets really bad. Greg Schiano, 11-21. We'll skip Harbaugh.
Man.
Harbaugh's the one that worked out. 44-19-1. Took him to the Super Bowl with the Niners. Bobby Petrino, 3-10. Nick Saban, 15-17. Steve Spurrier, 12-20. And Butch Davis, 24-35. So you look at that, some success a little bit, but not a lot. You don't look at them saying they're Super Bowl contending coaches. You know what I mean? It's kind of the sexy name at the time, but Saban, probably arguably the best college coach of all time now, couldn't do shit in the NFL. It's a different game. So we'll see.
The big difference, I think, in that is payroll. I mean, you got guys in the NFL making more than the coaches. They don't have the respect like you do of a college kid. You don't have the work ethic you do of a college kid. Those kids out there are playing to play football. The pros, we've talked all year about the bullshit they do. It's all about money in the NFL, and the coach doesn't get the respect. So these guys that are highly, highly respected at the college level are not respected at the pro level.
For sure. Your thoughts are welcome, 314-877-8597. Before we move on to any more storylines, I think the main one, if anybody hasn't noticed, Nick shaved his beard and his mustache for the first time in, is it 3 years?
I didn't even notice.
Yeah, like 3 years, I think, since like 2018, probably.
That's crazy. So we have a little inside edition for you from the 50, from the bathroom of Nick Yale in Reno, him shaving his beard. Take a look.
I think. Don't think I've used it at all. Here we go.
It was slow-mo hair.
Nice slow-mo.
There's a certain point where he decides, I might just do it.
The stash looks pretty good. This is stash. I'm a fan. First time I've used shaving cream, I'm like,
Wait a little bit there.
wait a little bit. Yep. And the mustache, shave it for the first time in 3 years.
Was that like an hour clip?
Look better with the beard.
That was like
All right,
8
gents,
minutes.
there it is. Cleanly shaven. Punishment up in the ante. Do the ice bath a different time. Don't have enough ice, but there you go. Let's win some football games today.
There you go. That's Nick with a brand new face. It's like it's just odd. It's just I kind of jumped when I saw it.
We're done pussyfooting around here with these punishments. I'm setting the standard for next year that we're really up in the ante because eating jelly beans and hanging signs in your yard is cute and all, but I take this shit seriously when I lose, and I still have a couple left. I think we might be able to count that one for 2. I don't know. It seems a little excessive for me, but
I thought we were fucking around.
Eyebrows.
I still plan on doing an ice bath too at some point. I didn't have enough ice to make it nice and cold. I just had a little ice. So I need to go to like 7-Eleven and get like the jumbo bags for the ice bath. But we will have a video of that hopefully by Super Bowl. We'll plan on getting that out there too.
Yeah, I think that's the hardest thing is we got busy and this year we always try to step it up a little bit.
Thanksgiving, a lot of stuff, just kind of holidays always slow things down a little bit.
Yeah, and we wanted to make sure we get one every week, but hopefully by next, I will say we'll definitely have better punishments by the start of next year and have a lot of a whole list of things. So we're not just sitting there going, oh yeah, you can eat a jelly bean or you can go do 10 push-ups or some bullshit. I don't know, but it's it was the first year of punishments. It was something different. So I appreciate Nick upping the ante a little bit. Yeah. So I think the sky's the limit with those.
Yeah,
I think we've been punished enough. There's been some guys going out of bounds, going down to the knee. I've been punished all year.
Yeah, maybe if I had been losing more, I would have been more against all the punishments. But since I had such a great stretch to start the year and just am on an absolute fucking heater the past 2 weeks, 14-2 so far, I was willing to up the ante a little bit.
Hey, I got Nick's next punishment. Just have somebody else pat him on the back instead of him patting himself.
Yeah, that's honestly that's usually
just
usually
get somebody
how it
out
works.
on the street to pat you on the back.
Just anybody to compliment him instead of himself. I can't
I mean,
believe
maybe you
that.
guys can buy me a massage. I mean, my back's getting it's hurting a little bit from carrying.
Yeah,
everybody.
let's do it. Let's do it. I know
these last 2
Bubba
weeks.
the rub sponge out there. He's a 350-pound guy with bad breath. Let's get him.
Let's go ahead and take a look at the standings after the wild card weekend. Not a good day for me. Not a great week. I go 1-6, 52, 73 and 1. Big
Everything
Web goes
is
3. What'd you say?
So everything is right in the world.
Big Web 3-4, 56, 67 and 3. Nick gets the crown again, 5-2. He's 63, 62 and 1. Zook still has a decent lead over him. And Zook's still at the top right now, 2-5 last week, 66, 58 and 2. So
We closed that gap, though. We closed that gap. We officially secured at least no worse than second place this year. So I'm happy with that. And yeah, I mean it's just good to be back on top where I belong after this
save that.
wretched month of December and January.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. You always have that end of the year span where you just kind of tank at the end of the regular season. So next year and future years, every time we get to about week 13, Nick's useless through week 17. And then he probably figures it out during the playoffs a little bit.
Yeah, playoffs, I sat down, I was crunching numbers like all week long, doing the homework, making phone calls, checking weather reports, getting my sources on the ground, seeing who's in, who's out, and putting in a little helpful bits and pieces along the during the games, on the sideline. We had,
Did you say week 13 to 17?
Yeah, just about.
That's what it was.
So that's no shave November. I think it's the beard.
You think it's a beard?
Yeah.
So Nick shaves, and then you think he's going to go undefeated now?
What time yesterday did you shave?
I shaved after the Packers game. Get
After?
this, right? So we all had the Packers game, but I also had a 6-point teaser that went with the Bills game because wasn't really sure if Ravens were going to have a shot or not. So I teased the Bills game so Bills to 3.5, Packers to 0.5, and then I took the under 51.5, and so they were scoring quite a bit there at the end. Rodgers gets the ball back. They go down. They're about to score. They get that last first down. And I was like, okay, do they kick the field goal? It goes 4th down and then, kick the ball back. But there wasn't enough time because they were up 2 touchdowns. Thank goodness Matt LaFleur, my Lord and Savior saint, decides to just kneel the ball out 4 times and give the ball back to the Rams. And the under 51.5 hit. So it finished it right at 50. It was like, I think the score was what, like 20? I forget what it was. It equaled 50, though.
I bought that thing.
Is what it was.
Like you, Nick, I bought that thing up to 52.5. You bought it up to 51.5. I think the real number was 45.5.
Mm-hmm.
So after the normal over under bettors played that
45,
Matt LaFleur said, "You know what? I'm not going to fuck the guys that are smart enough to buy this game up. I'm not going to fuck the bettor. Hey, Aaron, go down to a knee. Let's give Weber and Yale a victory one time on kneeling down." Thank you very much.
You think that's what he told Aaron Rodgers on the sideline?
I got the audio from the game.
First time they've been back to the NFC Championship in quite some time, and that's what he tells him.
That's
Go
what
ahead
I
and
told-
take a knee
that's
so
what I
you
told-
can
we already
help
got the
some
game.
schmo in St.
If
Louis,
you
Missouri
watch-
win a fucking bet.
If you watch
fuck
the
the better, he
replay,
Would Matt LaFleur be welcome in the Big Web Football League?
He's all over.
He's
the
in
place.
it now.
He's my hero.
Cliff
Well,
Kingsbury is
well,
not, but
well, if you go back to the game tape at all and check it out, Aaron Rodgers, right before he kneels, looks up at the clock and the score, smiles. That was to me and Big Web, and
That's
then
right.
kneels the ball. Like
That's
he
right.
knew
because
he
you guys
knew
are
what he
such
was
good
doing.
friends. You
We
talk
are.
to him on a weekly basis.
Thank you, Aaron. Thanks for tuning in.
So
this morning.
Aaron gave you a little
Aaron-
wink and goes, "I got you, boys. Don't worry."
Thank
That's
you.
it.
Well, we got
That's
this
awesome.
little competition going on in the Book It Sports league over on the Book It Sports app, which you can download on the Apple App Store, Google Play. New updates out now. Trent gave us each $100 to see how much we could turn it into, and before the weekend, I was sitting right in 4th place, boys. After last night's teaser and parlay cashed, we are now top of the leaderboard.
Wow. Nice.
Top
Got to
of
keep
the-
it going.
Trent also has a parlay, a 2-way money line parlay, $6,000 to win $9,000 and change on Packers ML,
Collect.
Chiefs ML.
To collect $9,000 and change. I saw it.
That scares the shit out of me
So
just
Big Web,
even thinking about that.
I know Big Web's got a big one that he'll talk about later, but those guys might be going a little head-to-head today.
Yeah, it's that's gonna be good. At the end of the show, Big Web's got one that Trent might not be happy about. So there could be good content today. There will be good content today on the Book It Sports app between Dad and Trent. So that'll be fun. Talk about yesterday's game. So let's break down the Packers a little bit more. 32-18 over the Rams. You know, the story was how Rodgers will do against their defense. It's the number one offense against the number one defense. Rams had really dominated against Seattle all season long, so you weren't really sure what they'd bring against Green Bay. Packers held them pretty good. I mean, they moved the ball enough. They got in the end zone a lot in the second quarter, took a decent lead, and it seemed like to me the Rams just didn't have enough firepower on offense. You know, they try to control the clock with Akers and get him going a little bit. Green Bay's run defense figured it out. The first few plays were a little worrisome. That he got 6 yards of carry, I believe. And then all of a sudden, they just kind of figured it out. And Goff was just getting blitzed all day. They couldn't stop anybody. And it got to a point where the Packers were just going to score way too much to keep up with if you're the Rams. So what are your boys' thoughts on it? I thought right when Cooper Kupp was out that their offense would struggle a little bit more. Goff looked okay in the first quarter, then kind of tailed off a little bit. But the real story was the fact that Rodgers and that offense showed that they can beat anybody, including the number one defense, pretty much all down the field.
Yeah, I'll tell you, that football game, it was all about how is Green Bay going to do against the Rams defense? I mean, that was to me was going to be the ball game because they're basically outmatched offensively. The Rams trying to move the ball down the field versus Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is going to win that battle, right? But how is Aaron going to do against the Rams D? Rams D, he just kept digging, and there was a flow right from the start of the game where he's getting first down after first down, and it was just very methodical and very smooth. And you were comfortable after not two drives because I think they stalled on the second drive, but the third drive is like, okay, they got a flow. These guys are going to move the football today. So it was fairly comfortable there. So Green Bay was impressive yesterday, very impressive against a really good D.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the offense pretty much took the number one defense in the NFL to task and had their way with them for most of the afternoon. I was really impressed with the way Green Bay was able to run the football. It felt like Aaron didn't have to have a ton of offensive pressure on him because of the way that they were running the football. And I know Aaron Donald wasn't healthy, and he's still the best defensive player in the NFL, in my opinion. But it was, as a Packers fan, pretty awesome to watch, Elgton Jenkins just kick his ass and the interior of the Packers offensive line just move them off the football. It was awesome. So the offense was fantastic. I think that the game would have been even more out of hand had Alan Lazard caught the first bomb that he dropped. That allowed the Rams actually to get back into it. They kind of had a little surge there in the third quarter, started to get a couple of stops. It was just the billing. All I heard all week was the Rams defense and Jalen Ramsey and Devontae Adams and how low his pass rating was when targeted this year and how little success everyone had against Jalen Ramsey. And Devontae Adams put him in the fucking meat grinder, and the Packers offensive line just drove Aaron Donald off the ball. It was awesome. The one worry I have is the Packers defense was terrible outside the pass rush. Outside the pass rush and Jair Alexander, the Packers defense is very, very bad. And it's I think we'll see after today. I think it's probably going to be the worst unit left of the four teams. But the key for the Packers to have success is because the pass rush is good, you can cover up some warts. And Rashawn Gary had a career-high 7 pressures yesterday. Zadarius Smith had 7 pressures yesterday. If they can get pressure on the quarterback, it alleviates some of that. But the problem is you have to force people into passing situations. Once they get the teams into passing situations, I really don't think the defense is that bad. The problem is they give up 5-6 yards of carry on first down consistently. And that's what worries me going into NFC Championship weekend. But the team they're going to face, either the Saints or the Bucks. The Bucks, particularly, like their rushing attack doesn't worry me that much. Saints rushing attack worries me a little bit more, but they still like to throw the ball to Kamara as much as they like to run it. So that's the one worry for the Packers for me. But I thought the Rams are a really good football team, good effort. I thought that Jared Goff showed a lot of toughness in the cold. I mean, a pretty mild day by Green Bay standards, but I felt like he shook a little bit of that narrative of not being able to play in the cold. I don't know what you guys thought, but I thought
for sure.
I thought he did okay.
Yeah, they said it was what, like low 40s or something, that it was pretty clear. There was a little bit of flurries going on at one point. It got a little bit colder.
I think it was 30s, which like in Green Bay, and I went to school in Menominee, Wisconsin, which is like same longitude line as Green Bay, and it's just opposite side of the state. And I remember, I mean, this wasn't even January, but like I remember like November, December, if it got above, I don't know, 20 degrees. Like that
was a good day.
Pretty
you guys
warm.
were out
like,
there in the short sleeves and hanging out.
You didn't even need a coat. Like a lot of the time it's negative and it's like 10 degrees. So for it to be 30 in Green Bay in January, like that's about as good as it gets. Like next week it's going to be a lot colder.
I get what you mean, sort of, because in St. Louis every once in a while it gets to that point where it's so cold for like 3 weeks in a row, like in the teens, and then you get to like 32, like holy shit, this feels great out here. But that's another level. I mean, Wisconsin's another level as far as cold.
You do get used to it. Like it sucks at first, but you really do get used to it. And I think that's why it's so tough for these teams to come in there and play, because if you're not used to it, you cannot prepare for it. Like I distinctly remember going home for like Thanksgiving break, like my freshman year of college, and wearing like a light jacket outside when it was like 35 degrees and everybody else was freezing their nuts off. And I was like, it is beautiful out.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah,
like
and it feels great. Yeah, and I think that's what the Packers wanted too. They're like, "I'll bring these LA boys in here, and we're gonna have our weather and our fans and a little snow falling. It's the perfect scenario." Now, I will say too, I think it's going to be a good matchup, whoever the NFC Championship opponent is for them, whether it's the Saints or the Bucks. I think there's 3 great teams left in the NFC. The fact that the Packers have home field advantage, you can just tell Aaron can win anywhere. He's that good. But he has this extra little spark, you know. He's pumping up the fans at the end of the game, and he's giving them a smile while he runs out. They're chanting MVP. I don't care how cool and calm, cool, and collective you act like. When you have fans doing that, you got an extra spark. Like I'm gonna light it up today.
Well, they were finally able to put some fans in the stands too, so I think that's a great point.
That was the difference maker between both these games. Was in Buffalo and in Green Bay was the fans, because not to get to the next game yet, but even in Buffalo, like the fans were rocking, and there was a series where they had like 3 false starts and were backed up in their end zone because it was so loud in Buffalo. And they like looked down to the guys on at one point, one of the Ravens offensive linemen, and he's like, I can't hear. And it was just, I mean, they were slamming the seats, and I mean, they said they had 6,700 in there in Buffalo, and so it's down like 67,000.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was insane. They said the same thing about Lambeau, is that they were like taking these defense signs and hitting them against the bleachers, and was making sound that was like, it's someone sound the play-by-play guy said it sounded like a train was coming down the tracks. It was so loud. So it was awesome. Like that shit is so cool. Bills Mafia and the Packers, 2 of the best fan bases in the National Football League, and you get a chance to have home field advantage to take advantage of that. I think it's going to be really hard for the Bucks or the Saints to beat the Packers in Lambeau. They're on a roll. They showed that they can beat a great defense, and honestly, they played a little good run defense at one point too. They shut down Akers for a quarter there. He got out of there eventually, but it was the pressure they put on. So the Packers are dangerous,
like,
man.
It's still bad, but it's not embarrassingly bad anymore.
Yeah.
Like they can get stops at times running the football and force you to pass, which is, I think, really all you need to do. Like, especially if you're the Packers and you have, I think, in my opinion, the best offense in football. You could argue the Chiefs, best offense in the NFC. We'll just say that. But you need to just force people into field goals and force people to make mistakes or make them make the play. You know, like don't give up anything deep. So I think they're coming on at the right time.
I do too, and I think that team is set up where, someone said it perfectly yesterday. They're finally playing like a number 1 seed. They're playing the way a number 1 seed should play in the playoffs. It's been one game. Well, we'll say that. It's been one game. Jared Goff off thumb surgery, no Cooper Kupp. But that defense was healthy. That defense was set up, and they still scored 32 points on them. So I was pretty excited about what the Packers did. They're going to be dangerous.
I think Zook's spot on about their opponent, though. I think Tampa is going to be a much easier opponent than New Orleans would be, just because of the run game, just exactly what you said.
Yeah, well, and you saw what Tampa did to Green Bay in the regular season, though. I mean, anything, and again, this is weeks ago, but I mean, Rodgers got pummeled by that defense. But that was in Tampa, wasn't it?
It was
Yeah, it
in
was down
Tampa. They got up 14-0, then Rodgers threw the pick six,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and then things kind of unraveled from there. I do like Tampa as a Packers fan. Like, you want to see Tampa from the fact that they don't really have a good run game, and I think that Sean Payton's an infinitely better coach than Bruce Arians. But you don't want to see Tampa because if there's anybody that could play in the cold
It's
at
Tom
Lambeau,
Brady.
it's Tom Brady,
Yeah.
man. So
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
I don't know if I want to see Tom Brady in an NFC Championship.
Let's move on to the other game. So the Bills take down the Ravens 17-3 in an extremely boring first half. I think very worrisome for our boy Nick Tolley over there, because we were watching that game, and all I kept saying was, how great are the Bills? Is the Bills defense playing against Lamar? But how shitty is their offense right now? This is scary. Like, they're playing so good against the Ravens offense. They should be winning this game by 2 touchdowns. And the Bills they weren't moving the ball well. And you can give some props to Baltimore's defense, but Buffalo looked sloppy. They looked very sloppy. And I know I'm looking forward a little bit. We'll talk about this game, but if the Bills play like that against the Chiefs or the Browns, probably the Chiefs in the AFC Championship, they're going to get wrecked. So
That's what happens when you call one run play in the first half and 30 pass plays.
Yeah.
That
You
was
make
a-
Josh Allen do all your work. And then the wind,
saw that
the wind factor. Does anybody know how quick that wind was from left to right? It was insane, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it
they
was
kept trying to say that it was only like 10 miles an hour,
It was
but it's
17
blowing
miles
off the
an hour.
flagpoles.
17.
But the problem is that it would come and go. So they couldn't game plan for it because like it would be wind gusts coming in, but it wasn't consistent the whole time. And so that's why McDermott said at halftime that they were having trouble throwing the ball, which I don't know why they just didn't run the ball more, because once they started running the ball in the second half, it opened it up a little bit for Josh Allen to make those check down throws. But yeah, when the kickers had absolutely no shot.
Nick's favorite people.
No
I was waiting
shot.
for that angle to come in.
Well, but shit. I mean, that was basically the football game right there in the first half. Was Justin Tucker, the lockiest lock of kickers in the league besides Mason Crosby, and he misses two, and then Bass missed, I think,
Two
two as well.
doinks,
It was all momentum.
Two doinks.
Momentum
Just misses. They're
kills.
two
Momentum
doinks.
kills on both of them.
I will forever stand by doinks are worse for a kicker's psyche than if he misses it 30 feet right.
For sure.
Like, if you doink it, it's just like it just sends you into a tailspin.
Because you know what Twitter's
mentally.
doing. Twitter's just attacking you, saying doink. Oh, look at that doink. Ever since
Rattled
Cody
throughout the
Parkey.
The double
stadium.
doink.
Yeah.
That
ever since-
reverb is just playing in your mind. You hear the
The
dong.
reverb.
Oh man, that field mic they have too. It's just like whoa, 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 like reverbs. Oh yeah.
Shit.
You know what? One last thing on the wind. I thought it was so hilarious. Did you see at the end of the game where like Michelle Tafoya is reporting? She's like, "Well, the wind, like it's dying down now. It's not too bad now." And they just have a shot of the flags, like, like
That was when
full
they
speed ahead.
That was when they came back from halftime. They were literally starting the second half. She's like, "Yeah, it's not too bad down here now. There's not much wind in the."
and
it's
Al
just
Michaels and Chris
straight out
Collinsworth are
flags.
just laughing.
So that's the thing. It played into a factor in the passing game, though, too. You saw Josh Allen missed, I think it was John Brown or Diggs on a long pass that he
He
usually
missed
hits.
both.
And it was right to the right because of that wind factor. And then Huntley, too, had Marquise Brown wide open.
Oh,
he would
my
have gone to the end zone,
God.
I mean, by 7
think
to
he
10
was
yards
over that one.
and totally missed him. So you
Trey
wonder
White
if,
looked like a fool on that double
He
move.
did.
It was bad.
you wonder if that's all the wind or if it's just the backup quarterback. The wind was whipping, though. That sucked. He would have been gone.
There was
easily.
a hot
So-
second there. I thought Huntley was going to bring him back and win that freaking game. Like when they were driving on that last drive and they nearly got it into the end zone, I was like, oh shit. Especially if he had hit Marquise Brown, I'd have been like, fuck, here we go. Because we all had 6.5, or no, not in that game. We had 3.5, so we were still okay. But
2.5. I had 2.5
Yeah,
in
it
that
was
one.
2.5.
Yeah.
I had 3. So
That's why it seemed like a steal, under a field goal in that game. I was like,
If
come
that
on.
game would have gotten any closer, that Ravens center would have shit himself and not been able to make a comeback.
Yeah.
That guy was so bad at snapping the ball.
Yeah, he was.
3,
He was.
4
There-
bad snaps, one that cost Lamar to be kicked out of the game.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What was
kicked
his
out,
injury?
yeah.
Do we know? I don't officially know.
Lamar?
He was in concussion protocol.
It was a
Yeah.
concussion.
Yeah,
Okay.
concussion, yeah.
He got lit up a couple times.
They
Isn't
showed
that
the replay.
crazy,
His
though,
head
that, like,
bounced off that turf.
that his head bounced off that turf, and like on camera it doesn't look like that bad of a play, but that puts him in the concussion protocol like that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and then you had to send in your backup. And you're only down by 2 touchdowns. Like everybody sort of knew that was the end because the Bills were finally going after that pick six and everything. And you're sitting there like, there's no way they come back. But I'm sitting there going, there's still like 10 minutes left, and there's only 2 touchdowns between these two. Like, you never know. And then he misses that Marquise Brown pass. I'm like, that's it. That's the game. They had their chances.
One of the other plays that I think was kind of underrated was right out of halftime when the Ravens kicked it off. They actually had a really good kickoff kind of to like the 3-yard line. It was bouncing around, and Andre Roberts kind of had to pick it up weird, but they blocked it well, and he ended up returning it to like the 35-yard line to set them up for a great drive. Because that could have easily been like, you start at the 10 or 15 and have to go that much farther.
Yeah, that game was. I expected Buffalo to dominate after I saw that the way the Ravens came out, the way they were dominating them a little bit. The first 3 plays though were like 3 10-yard rushes, and I'm like, oh my god, Baltimore's going to run all over them. And then they finally figured it out, but that was a little scary at the beginning. So I mean, the questions are going to keep coming at Lamar. Is he a big time quarterback? Will he ever win a Super Bowl? I just think he's running into a buzzsaw of a year. There's just so many good teams out there. And Buffalo's probably the hottest team in the NFL still. They finally looked like the Buffalo Bills at the beginning of the season where they're good, but they have some issues. But at the end of the year into the wild card weekend, they were insane. They were impossible to beat. They looked beatable yesterday. They looked beatable, unfortunately. So that's going to be the story is, if the Browns do win today, Buffalo does have a home field advantage in the AFC Championship. But if the Chiefs win, you're going to Arrowhead against the best offense in the NFL. So I know, Dad, we'll talk about this in a minute. I know you want the Browns, but I so badly want to see Chiefs and Bills. So bad.
The Battle of Lake Erie could be fun.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, just as an aside, last night, so one brother-in-law is from Baltimore. The other brother-in-law is from Buffalo. So we had a little get-together last night. We're hanging out, and all of a sudden the doorbell rings. There's an order of chicken wings. Because the other brother-in-law is in Florida. I don't know how many crab cakes went that way, but anyway, at halftime the doorbell rings again. It's another order. Buffalo wings comes from another place. So it's going on, man.
A little bit more expensive if he's sending crab out to him.
Yeah, I guess so,
honestly, he's like, keep sending it. Let's go.
They got a bet. The brother-in-law in Florida says, okay. They said, it's going to be breakfast because he always says, I'm buying breakfast. He always buys down there. The other brother-in-law says, okay, I'm buying if we win. And he goes, all right, we're going to the Vinoy. That is the biggest hotel down there.
Buying expensive breakfast. I'm getting double eggs Benny in that one. That'll be fun.
That's it.
So let's take a look. We actually had somebody inside of Bill Stadium yesterday that it was, I think, related to Tolly that gave us a little inside look at those last final seconds of the Bills' victory. Let's take a look at it.
Shout out to Nick and the 50 Line Gang.
50 Line Gang.
This was the last punt of the game. Ended up with the penalty to give the ball for the Bills.
Was he in the end zone, Tolly, with the false starts?
I'm not sure. I know they're right on the Bills' entrance tunnel.
So I would have wanted a video of that.
First down! Yeah! Let's go!
How much beer was consumed in Buffalo last night? Oh, my God.
All of the Labatt.
So cool, man. I mean, what was it, 1996? They've been waiting for this?
1995. They haven't been in this round since like 1994.
Yeah. This is where they officially clinched it, right?
Yep, these were the last couple of minutes.
You can hear him banging those.
What is happening?
What did we say the temperature was in Buffalo yesterday?
It was like low to mid 30s, I think.
Yeah. That's awesome. I saw shirtless dudes in the crowd.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me at all. So cool, man. It sounds like a full stadium.
They keep them all in the lower bowl.
That's what it looked like. Well, I guess there's some people up top, but it looks like they put most people in that lower bowl.
Good stuff. Good stuff from Buffalo. Awesome. Well, appreciate you sending that in. If there's any Chiefs fans out there, Browns fans, we'd love to have
The
them.
50 line gang.
The 50 line gang. That might have to be the new show name. We'll change it. We do it every year anyway. The 50 line gang could be the new name.
That's just an inside joke from now on. 50 line gang.
Oh,
50
man.
line gang swept the picks yesterday.
Yeah, they did. They did. Table win, baby. Table win.
win.
We'd love to see it.
Win.
Let's find out if we have a table win possibility today. We're gonna go through the picks here in a second.
Somehow I think no.
You don't think so?
I can't imagine us getting along 2 days in a row.
Yeah, usually it doesn't work out that way. There's always something that pops up, but I don't know. I feel like we're gonna be split. But I'm curious to see where Dad goes on this because he's got an interesting little wager he's got at the end of this one. So let's go ahead and start out, boys. Let's start out with the first game. I will get the music here in a second. I promise you.
Thank you.
Look,
Let's
he's
Looks
go
on
ahead.
strike. He won't do
not
anything.
have the music. He refuses to do his picks.
We got the Cleveland Browns at the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs are minus 9.5, so that hook has now gone the opposite way. I believe, Tolly, that right now the public's on the Browns. Is that right?
They were this morning, but only by like 2%.
Wow, there you go. What do you think?
It's
I'm
50
working on it. I'm working on it.
Yeah, okay.
The
I'll quit
public,
being a dick to
the
TJ
public
and
bet
just
is
do
at 53% of them are on Cleveland.
Yeah, you know,
Wow.
with 9.5, like it's been back and forth for me all week. I don't feel good about this number either way. I think you gotta either tease it down if you like the Chiefs or tease it up if you like the Browns. But with the opposite hook in there, 9.5, I tell you what, I gotta go with the Chiefs on this one. I think that Cleveland could keep it close, and if it was 10.5, I tell you, I'd go with the Browns. But I think it's possible that the Chiefs can win this thing going away. Andy Reid off a bye is always very, very good. And people make the comparisons last year to the 24-0 Texans lead. And if that happens again, they'll be dead in the water. And they haven't blown out an opponent since the Jets. But I just got to tell you guys, I think that they got a little bored second half of the season with the 1 seed locked up and how talented they are. 14-2, but the last week they were resting guys. I think this football team is just too much offensively. And I think that they're going to get the Browns, probably cover that 9.5. I'm kind of betting, you know, against the public here. Like, I feel like the majority of people, like the smart play or like the conventional play, is the Browns. So I'm just gonna kind of fade that and go with the Chiefs.
Boys, I tell you what, last week against Pittsburgh, Cleveland, yeah, they got a lot of gifts. It was Christmas for them. I mean, they got a lot of turnovers. First freaking play of the game, they got a snap that went over to Pittsburgh quarterback's head. Get him a touchdown right away. But, you know, they played solid football and kept that lead humming most of that first half. Yeah, they let Pittsburgh back in the game a little bit towards the end. But, man, when you look at how they can move the football on the ground, and if Baker can get a little bit of time, which Kansas City defense should be able to give him some time, he's going to get a little bit of a passing game going. I think he's going to have plenty to cover this football game. I think it's going to be, I mean, at the time I made my bets, it was 10.5. We got some things plus 17.5 with Cleveland, and I'm feeling really comfortable about those. We got a whopper bet today where we went ahead and took Cleveland in a 4-way money line parlay. So if you guys were listening yesterday to Big Webb's video, you got a little taste of what we got in front of us today. 200 pays 5,600 if the Cleveland Browns can
You'll
get
love
it
to
done
see it, baby.
and win this football game outright.
Go big or go home.
But we do have a hedge. It's already in place. We got Cleveland plus 17.5 in a hedge that's all set, ready to go. We might take a little ride this morning and hedge Kansas City minus 2.5 as another hedge. We don't know. We're doing a little math on it still. But give me the Cleveland Browns in this football game, not only to cover the 9.5, but to win the football game.
Imagine being so confident in yourself and telling everybody, let's go Browns money line, but I'm going to drive over and do a little hedge probably,
yeah,
just to
a
be
little-
safe.
Why not?
Big Web's got his math guys working it out now. He's got his analytics department figuring out what bet he
you know,
needs to
Shouldn't
make.
go for two. Should he go for two?
Yeah.
4,600 is a nice chunk of money, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If you want to guarantee a win, you know.
Absolutely.
Well,
Nick?
it's going to be an interesting game for sure. I think a lot of people are on the Browns money line, and it's hard to bet against Patty Mahomes. But so I'm just betting the number here at 9.5. I've already bet it at 10. And I might, again, I'll probably do a teaser either with the Chiefs or the Browns, tease the Chiefs down, tease that number for the Chiefs down a little bit, and hopefully middle somewhere in between, like a Chiefs win by 7. But we gotta stick with the Browns at that number. Although I'm picking the Chiefs on the money line to win this game, because if Chiefs money line hits, Trent cashes $9K, and we're going to Vegas for the Super Bowl.
All right. Wow. Well, I've thought about this. I've gone back and forth. I looked at Kansas City's final 6 games of the regular season, not counting Week 17 when Mahomes didn't play. All very close at the end of it. Very close.
Haven't covered a spread, I don't believe, since the Jets game.
Yes.
Been a bit,
Yeah.
They beat the Raiders by 4, beat the Bucks by 3, beat the Broncos by 6, Dolphins by 6, Saints by 3, Falcons by 3. I mean, this fucking team, they're really good, but they keep the game close. But I don't give a shit. It's the playoffs, and we're taking Mahomes minus 9.5. They're going to get the Brownies done today. They're going to go home. Baker's not going to be able to do it. A little prop for you. I think it's Baker under 265 yards passing.
Oh, that's a lock. Are you for real?
I think it's 265. I got to make sure that's right. Any under. Take the under on Baker Mayfield passing yards. It's going to be under 200 today. And Patty Mahomes over, I believe it's 330 yards passing today. Do that. A little player prop parlay for you. Should be a lot of fun. But I'm going to take Kansas City. I think they'll get it done today.
Something about that line stinks
Something
to me,
about
man.
that 9.5. If it's 10.5, I
stinks.
think about it. But that hook going our way, give me the Chiefs in this one at home, and Baker's not going to be able to handle it today.
Interesting.
That's what I think.
Interesting.
All right, so we go to the last one of the day, the Bucks against the Saints. We are doing a lock here, by the way, so make sure you get your lock ready of the 2 games. Lot to pick from.
I will lock
53% is on
Michigan
Tampa
against
Bay.
Minnesota.
53% on Tampa?
Yes.
Wow. With the spread or money line?
Spread. Money line 59% on New Orleans.
Interesting. Okay, we have Bucks. It is now down to 2.5. So the Bucks are getting 2.5 points.
Oh, my
That's
God.
huge for the Saints. Fuck me, that sucks. Sorry. Bucks at Saints. Saints minus 2.5. Zook. This is tough with that. That hook sucks.
Can I pick last?
Sure.
I tell you what, that's the last time I'm going to give my picks out to the general public. It makes the goddamn line move and fuck us. I like Tampa in this football game. You know, I'm not a New Orleans fan, never been a New Orleans fan, but I respect what they do and what their coach does and what their quarterback has done. But it's the playoffs. You got to give me Tom Brady here. I got this football game all over 3.5, plus 3.5. I don't know what the hell's going on this morning. We'll do what we need to do to make that go where we want it to go. But I'm with the public. Give me Tampa here. And I think their defense is going to do enough against the run to win the game.
What do you think, Nick?
Oh, so I mean, Jersey says it all, right? Everyone and their mother is on Tampa Bay. That's why you're seeing this line move down to 2.5. It was scary at 3.5. This is moving in my favor, so I love that. Everyone is on Tampa. People say don't bet against Brady in the playoffs. This isn't Tom Brady on the Patriots. This isn't Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. This is Bruce Arians and Tom Brady. And the Bucs have had one of the easiest schedules all year long. All year long, one of the easiest schedules aside from the Saints. Hard to beat a team 3 times in a row. Hard to beat Tom Brady in the playoffs. But I'll go back to what I said last week. Drew Brees, Alvin Kamara, and Michael Thomas have been on the field for limited snaps this year. They're all back. We saw what they put up last week. Absolutely throttled the Bears. That was my best bet last week. I will take the Saints 2.5, and I will lock it up. Ace it.
Wow.
He's acing the Saints. I'm going to go ahead, and I think I'm going to take the Bucks here. I like it at 3 and 3.5. I've got them on both those numbers. 2.5's a little weird. But I do think that they're going to win the football game. So either way, I'll still take the Buccaneers. Again, it's Brady. It's one of those things. I know that it's Brees' possible last game in the NFL, so he's going to be super motivated to win this game. But Brady's also at the end of his career, too. He's got one more year after this, I think, no matter what. I think he came to Tampa to solidify his legacy of being a quarterback that is so good he can win anywhere. It doesn't matter if you're with Bill Belichick. Doesn't matter if you're on the New England Patriots. And it's Tom Brady, the GOAT. in the playoffs, getting points. I got to take Tampa here. I don't love it. Something tells me Alvin Kamara has a day, but I took Tampa. I got to stick with Tampa. They're going to win the football game.
Gosh, there's so many arguments for both ways. Like Tom Brady getting points in the postseason. This Bucs team has caught in fire a little bit as of late. I think I have to go with the Saints here. Like I like what you were saying at 3.5, 4 points. Like you get to an ugly number. I like Tampa. But at 2.5, I just got to go with the Saints. I know it's hard to beat a team 3 times. It's infinitely harder to beat Tom Brady 3 times in a season. But I think that the Saints defense is going to give the Bucs offense more trouble than the Bucs defense will give the Saints offense. They have the triumvirate back together with Brees, Kamara, and Thomas. And so I think that gives the offense some life. They're at home. I don't know if they have fans, how many are going to be there, but I do think that plays a factor. I just think that the Saints are a little bit better football team. And I tell you what the X factor is for me, and kind of the main reason I'm going to go with the Saints minus the 2.5 here is Sean Payton versus Bruce Arians. I like Bruce Arians as a coach. I don't love Bruce Arians as a coach. I don't know how dynamic he is as a play caller in today's NFL, whereas I think Sean Payton just holds a significant edge over him in today's game, and I'm going to go with the better coach team, the team that I think is still more talented over the Buccaneers team that I think it's been a little weird all season long. Like they've gotten to the wild card, they've been successful, but it's been a little weird, like what's their identity? We've talked about that ad nauseum. So I'm gonna take the Saints. We've flip-flopped hooks in both these games now, but I'll take the Saints minus the 2.5.
We are split on both of these.
I will also let the fans know teams that won both regular season games are actually 14-7 in the playoffs, and teams that win in the divisional round cover 89% of the time.
Wow. Yeah, that's big.
And I'm on the faves, so I guess I like that.
I think this game, this is where 2.5 sucks a lot. But I think Tampa's going to win the game. But I think it's a last-second drive by one of the two and a field goal to win the game. I do think so.
And just like full disclosure, I have the Bucs plus 3.5 on CBS, and I'm probably not going to change it. So like that's that hook is such a big deal.
It's really big in this game and the previous game before it. But one thing, Nick, on last week's game, New Orleans against Chicago, the Bears are who we thought they were. They're a piece of shit. Don't take any credence in that victory.
And Tampa Bay's who we thought they were too. Tampa Bay had a cute little win against Green Bay. I will take that one.
They kicked the shit out of them after they were down by 2 touchdowns.
New Orleans has throttled Tampa Bay twice this year without all their main guys, and so now they got all their main guys. I just don't think that Tampa Bay is for real. I just think, again, they have too many offensive weapons. It's a terrible analysis, but like you wouldn't think too many offensive
too many,
weapons.
Nick. He uses all of them now. Evans is there. He's figured it out. Godwin's there. He's figured it out. Antonio Brown's there. He's figured it out. He's figured it out.
No, Mike Evans and Tom Brady have figured it out, and that's the only thing about this game that scares me.
Chris Godwin. He's been on fire when Evans wasn't on fire, and now they're both on fire. And you got Gronk in the playoffs with Brady.
And Antonio Brown's been playing well.
This is the New England Patriots. This is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
You're right. They're on fire. They're even better than the Patriots were.
The New England Buccaneers.
This is not
the Bears
are
who we thought they
Patriots
were.
And Tom Brady. This is Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they are heating up. But you're going into a buzzsaw in New Orleans.
Sean Payton is also 4-0 against Bruce Arians since he returned to the NFC South.
Well, good. Bruce is due.
I don't look
Bears
at
who we thought they were.
You bet numbers. You don't bet teams, and 2.5 is a great number for New Orleans.
I bet the Packers yesterday, and I won. So.
By the way, we have to give locks still, right?
Aces.
Our aces.
Our ace of the week. That's right.
I'll ace the Saints also minus 2.5. I can't. Wow. I can't ace 9.5.
Wow.
I just can't ace 9.5.
Wow. By the way, just remember that Tampa still has. If they go to the Super Bowl, it's in Tampa. They have an extra little boost there too.
That's true.
Just remember that. I know they got to get past the Packers if they win this one, but I'm just saying they're scary. They're scary.
What a classic, just Tom Brady advantage.
So, wow, you guys are doubling up on the Saints.
You know what happened in Tampa 30 years ago? That was the Super Bowl Bills lost wide right.
Yes.
Is that right?
They're revenging it this year.
Norwood kick. I believe they mentioned that on the broadcast, didn't they?
That's what Dad mentioned yesterday.
It was all Norwood.
He kept calling Justin Tucker Norwood.
Yeah. That motherfucker, Tucker.
That motherfucker, Tucker.
Tyler Big Balls Bass kind of missed his first one way wide right.
Yeah.
T-Bass?
And then you thought if it was the wind or not, but he kind of, I mean,
He might have overcorrected a little bit.
yeah, he sliced it pretty bad.
What? Yale? No kicker talk? Go throw it that way.
Yeah.
Dad, you
Yeah, Nick, you haven't mentioned the kickers in any of your analysis so far.
Yeah, dude.
and
he mentioned the miss by Tucker earlier.
Yeah, but not in the picks today. I'm just gotta say, just color me disappointed.
No,
Think Will
there's
Lutz
not
is
a whole lot of
field goals
kicker
today?
analysis today. I'm not high on the kickers. Will Lutz has kind of been struggling. I don't even know who Tampa's kicker is these days.
Ryan
Suckup, yeah.
Yep.
Cleveland? Who's Cleveland? I don't even know who Cleveland trots
Parkey.
out. Is their
Parkey.
kicker?
Cody
Park-
Parkey,
yeah.
double doinker is
Outside
back.
in
Tucker's pretty
Kansas
good
City today.
for KC though.
I'd like to have a name like Suckup. I mean, it's,
No, the best one was the guy in college. His name was Jason Blewett.
Oh,
It was a kicker name.
Yeah.
His last name was Blewett. He blew it. Jason
Blew
blew
it.
it.
We got
that's the
Suckup.
announcer
We
at
got
Gulfstream
Young Ho.
Park too. Blew it.
Is it really?
Horse race guy blew it.
He blew it. Your ace of the week.
Boys, I'm going with the Cleveland Browns. Plus the
Wow.
Love to see it.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm going with the Chiefs. This is going to be fun.
Wow.
This is going to be fun. Man,
This is-
I
gonna
should
be a
really,
wild-
I
it's
should
gonna be
really
fun.
get
Who
odds.
did
this
I
get?
should
Wild
really,
week.
I should really get odds on my ace.
son
I
of a
really
bitch.
should.
Do we want to pick I think we should pick the score. I don't know what we get, like a beer bet or something with the Tampa and New Orleans game. I just would love to pick the score of that one. I think that'd be fun. Do a little friendly
DJ
competition.
does not
I'll
get you another
do-
win if you get it right.
I'll
or get it
bring
wrong.
a 6-pack to the Super Bowl. If I'm cool with that. A
So he's
six-pack
going to
Super Bowl
fly.
bet
He's going
for
to
the-
fly to Tampa with a
No, not-
six-pack.
What are you talking about?
You said you're going to bring a six-pack to the
I'm
Super
gonna
Bowl.
fly in my G6 to TJ's house.
Well, how about like we have a three-way punishment then? You have to get the score exactly right. But if you do, the other three have to do something.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, I'm in.
But what do we do?
And then it's
Yeah,
just
you got
no
to
blood
fly
if you don't
Zook
get
to
it.
Tampa.
I like 28-24 New Orleans.
Okay.
Let me go last.
Okay. So again, we'll figure out punishment later. I guess the winner gets to pick what the other three do. You have
Send
to
us
get
your
it exactly
best
right.
punishment on Facebook, DM, call in.
Yeah.
Give us your best punishment.
Nick, what do you think? So Zook's got 28-24. Tell you writing these down or
I am.
Okay.
I'm gonna go 34 20 34-31 New Orleans. Covers by field goal.
What'd you say?
34-31 New Orleans.
34-31 New Orleans.
You gotta do the math. I'm like, how many touchdowns are they gonna score?
I know.
8?
You got to think of the extra points, missed field goals, bullshit like that.
Yeah, you got to pick like
Fuck.
It's an
26.
indoor game.
30,
Taysom Hill getting
26.
stalled at the half-yard line.
I'm going to go clean scoring.
They're in a dome.
I'm going to go clean scoring game. I'm going to say 31-28 Tampa.
I'm going to
Again, it's got to be the right one, too. It's 31-28 New Orleans, I lose. It's got to be
34
Who you think's
31
gonna
New
win?
Orleans.
I can't go clean score here, but if I go off score, I'm never going to hit the right number. Let's go clean score, 34-24 Tampa.
34-24.
Ooh,
Okay.
two-score game,
This
Tampa.
will be a fun
That's right.
one. This will be a good one. Okay. And so what's your bet? Did you do your best bet today with the Cleveland pick?
Big
You
Web.
you know what?
Best bet of the week.
Ladies and gentlemen, if Big Web followers watched carefully yesterday to the video, we're going to stand pat today. We're doing just fine. We got a lot of action going today. Yesterday, you saw the $200 pays $5,600 if we can hit Cleveland money line and Tampa money line tonight. That's what we're pushing for today. We also
Two dogs money line.
we also have
Ride the lightning, Big
hell. I want to put a little more on the two-way money line.
Oh,
It pays.
God.
I think it's 300 pays $2,000 or something on a two-way.
Put something on the Chiefs, for love of
If
God.
you hit
I may tease a little something down on the Chiefs just to give me a little backup. But we do have a teaser also that we announced yesterday. I don't know if you put that out.
I haven't yet.
So there's a $200. I get credit for it because it started yesterday.
Right. No, we had the video proof.
Okay, cool. So that was a four-way teaser on that one. Today we need Cleveland plus 17, and we need Tampa plus 10 in that one. That was a $100 bet to pay like $350.
Nice.
So that was just a little backup. But Big Web faithful, just hang on, stay where we're at. That's what we're doing. Get them.
Before we get to our sponsor reads real quick, I want to get a couple props for you boys from some thoughts on it from the Cleveland-Kansas City game. See what you guys think. Just say over under this, okay? Patrick Mahomes, 320.5 passing yards.
Under.
Over.
Wow, you say under though?
And I'm betting against the guy.
That's a lot
Over.
of 320 is a lot.
They also have 0 running backs right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. I don't know. Under.
Baker Mayfield Baker Mayfield 260.5 passing yards.
You had it right. Under.
They're going to do it on the ground. I'd say under.
Okay. Nick, you too?
What is it?
260.5 for Mayfield. Passing yards.
I'm gonna go under.
Okay. It's there. It's clean sweep.
I think they
over
run.
is they're going to hit.
Hope so.
Kareem Hunt, anytime touchdown score.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
For sure.
Yeah.
Even with Chubb?
Yeah.
Think he's gonna get him?
Yeah.
They shared it nice
It's
last time.
more risky, but yeah,
Okay.
sure.
I would go
The
anytime
funner one
TD on
there
both of them.
is anytime touchdown Browns defense at plus
The
550.
funner one?
Nope.
I say funner all the time, too. No, that's not bad. And then the other one was Kansas City to win by 1 to 13 points.
Yeah.
Between 1 and 13 points.
yeah.
So if you
About 1 and 9. That'd be good.
if you parlay Mahomes over 320.5, Baker under 260.5, Kareem Hunt anytime touchdown score, and Kansas City to win between 1 and 13, $16 pays $314. Little
Wow.
fun. Also, another
16
interesting
for over 300.
16 for $314 for
Wow.
those four. Patty over 320, Baker under 260, Kareem Hunt anytime touchdown, Kansas City win by 1.
Kareem Hunt's the
between
tough
1 and
one
13.
because like as that bet kind of plays out, like you're thinking Patty's going to throw for a shitload,
Mm-hmm.
Baker's not going to throw for very much. So in this theory, Kansas City's probably winning by a lot. So there's not going to be many Browns touchdowns.
So then you
That's
probably
the-
take away the Kansas City win by 1 to 13 maybe, and
No,
then
no,
think they blow them out.
I would take. I think that's fine. I think the tougher one is Kareem Hunt anytime scorer.
Okay.
Like
'Cause
I'd
of throwing.
maybe take like Tyreek Hill or somebody else.
So here's another one.
But a funner thing to think about on that
I'm pretty sure
would be a high-scoring, tight game.
I think that's
where
a
Hunt
word.
gets his
It's more
touchdown.
fun. You gotta say more fun.
Well,
I used to say
listen
funner all the
listen to
time.
this one from last week. A better put $5,000 on. I don't remember if it was Cleveland defense first TD or anytime TD. Kareem Hunt anytime TD and Browns money line against the Steelers. $5,000 and cashed out $220,000.
Jesus.
I believe it.
Another one. One more. Travis Kelce to score 2+ touchdowns, plus 400. If he scores 2 touchdowns or more, plus 400. I mean,
Well,
that's
high
awesome,
odds.
right?
That's high odds.
2 touchdowns. I mean, he's the guy in the red zone.
Yeah,
Unless they
but
run it with
usually
Hilaire.
go
I mean,
deep.
that's the
They
guy.
usually go deep. They're usually big play specialty.
Yeah, it's going to be Hardman or Watkins
You say
or
plus
Hill.
plus 400.
Plus 400.
So it's only 4 to 1.
Yeah, so $10 pays you 40.
Yeah, that would be a stretch because, like Nick's saying, they're going to be Hill in it.
But there's a. I mean,
Can you bet the under that? Under 2 TDs or no?
I don't think so. I think that's just a separate prop that they have. But
yeah, that's
Anyway.
that's wild.
anyway, FanDuel lets you do those same game parlays.
I would rather
props.
do Travis Kelce anytime TD score with like Kareem Hunt anytime TD score and like Patty Mahomes passing and Baker passing prop all parlayed
Yeah.
together.
So you wouldn't do Chiefs 1 to 13 and Kareem Hunt anytime TD score?
I kind of like that. I mean, I think Chiefs 113.
I do like Chiefs 1 to 13.
I do too.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I like the -9.5 though, so it's hard. Like I could. I don't know.
yeah.
until they lose outright by to the Browns.
We'll see if that happens. Big Web's gonna be very happy.
But if you're looking at it from if you're a Cleveland fan, you're playing the Cleveland side of things. Chiefs winning 1 to 13 is a nice little helper for you.
No, it
That's-
is.
You know what I mean?
yeah, you could root for both. So you're either getting your full cover. If you
You
get
get 9.5 of the 13,
and if you get
win
10, shit. I mean, everything hits there. But let me tell you something. If Cleveland
In
wins,
your mind.
in my mind, if Cleveland wins the game outright, Big Web will be the biggest Tampa Bay fan of all
Oh
time
my
tonight.
God, that's going to be.
Can you
I'm glad I'm
imagine-
What
off
happens
tomorrow.
when Cleveland rips the upset and then
Tampa
New
just puts up a
yeah,
dud?
New Orleans just like butt fucks.
Yeah, do you cash out?
Bucks.
Do you cash out then? Like if DraftKings offers you like $2,500, would it be that much?
No,
Or would you just drive
Well,
across then and place a bet on the
it would be
Saints?
during the game. I would drive to Illinois. It would be during the game, and you'd be at halftime or things are fluctuating. But it could get up to. I mean, if it was in
For a
Tampa's
payout.
favor, if it was in Tampa's favor, that sucker would go up to $4 or $5 grand, as a buyout.
Yeah.
I might be interested in that.
I wonder. That's tough because here's the thing: Can you imagine if you had your Tampa bet still too?
My God.
So Dad had a $100 bet on the Lightning to win the Stanley
Yeah, my
Cup,
sister
which they
did.
did. The Rays to win the World Series, which they lost. But if they would have won, he had the Bucks to win the Super Bowl, and Dad would be the biggest. He would not even bet on anything else. It'd be all
I'd be
Bucks
wearing
all
a
the time.
Bucks
What
jersey
was
right
that $100? What was it to win?
26,000?
now. Yeah, it was
$26,000.
26 grand. Yeah, I had 100 on.
You could
My
have just
sister had
gone on
100.
sabbatical for like a year, like
Yeah.
half a year.
That would have been cool. Yeah. So yeah, this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, about 4:45. If you see me on the JB Bridge about halfway in Illinois, Missouri, you know why.
You know where I'm going to be. Oh, man. Shout out to our great sponsors, K. Roberts Remax Gold. K. Roberts, the best real estate agent in St. Louis, in the area. You have to give her a call today, 314-409-4113. She's the best in the business. And she wants to make you friends after your clients. She wants to stay in touch, make sure you're happy with your home purchase or your home sale. The best in the business. 314-409-4113. Online, stlhomes4u.com. STL Homes, the number 4, YOU.com. Sarah Barron, Family Finance Mortgage. Someone else that works around the clock, helps you out, help me get in my beautiful home with the help of K. Roberts from Remax Gold. Lets me know about new numbers to refinance, always working around the clock, past 5 o'clock, doesn't matter. If she has a number that you need to know, she's going to help you out. She takes care of her clients just like K. Roberts Remax Gold. 314-537-1282, 314-537-1282, or online at familyfinanceMortgage.com. And last but certainly not least, the sponsor of Brews on the Balcony, from the 50 Show, and our Locks of the Week. We call it the Ace of the Week. It's Aces Wild in Columbia, Illinois, 208 North Main Street in Columbia, Illinois. Go in there and tell Alex Schlemmer that the boys from the 50 Show sent you over. Get some ice cold beer in there. They now have 6 machines, by the way. I was in there the other day. 6 machines.
Wow.
For your playing pleasure.
Playing pleasure. Yeah.
Is that how you
Playing
say it?
That's
pleasure?
funner than the other way.
They
Hey,
got-
funner is a word.
Is it?
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah, I just looked it up, but I
What the
didn't.
fuck?
I didn't want to stop the show, but yeah.
Hold on.
Funner is grammatically correct.
Hold on. I got to
Yes.
call my grade school teacher.
Yeah, I got
If you're
so much
using
trouble for
fun
that.
It's
as
an option.
adjective,
You can use more
funner.
fun, but so think about it this way. Do you think funnest is a word?
No.
Oh, you don't?
The
See, I feel
funnest?
like funnest,
Funnest,
is
yeah, funnest
is
is-
definitely. a
I've
word.
always been told if you say funner, you got to say more fun.
I got my ass kicked for saying
I had teachers give me like a B- instead of an A- because of funner. I'm pretty
Wow.
sure.
Whole
you
letter
can,
grade?
you can tell them to.
Yeah.
Jeez.
You can show them the internet, the old internet.
Funner.
All right, hey, Mrs. Maisie, listen up here.
Yeah, shit. Aces Wild, Columbia, Illinois. Go over there and tell everybody that we sent you over. Ice cold beers, 6 machines. They got booze over there. They got big screens. They got everything you need. And it's in Illinois. So if you want to go over there and put some live betting down, you can hang out. And Alex Schlemmer will take care of you over at Aces Wild in Columbia, Illinois. Anything else, boys? Is that it?
Well, I'll tell you what. The top. Okay, so everybody start right now. We'll clear that. We'll clear the lines. So the first one to email in, I want Nick's razor. Nick will put it in an envelope, ship it out to you free of charge as a fan from the 50.
Yeah. Oh, so Nick's a celebrity, so people want to.
Oh, they want it. You watch the board. Watch the board light up here.
We should have created an OnlyFans for Nick where you could pay to view his beard shaving.
You're gonna get some weirdos in there, man. You know what's
you
even
would.
scarier is there's probably gonna be some fucking weirdo just in there, like definitely. Like,
Oh, there's
enjoying every
100%
bit.
going to be some
Caller
weirdos in
Joe's
there.
already in there.
Caller Joe is just sitting there giving Nick money to see his beard shaved. Or Walter from Columbia. Any of them.
Leave the stash, Nick. Leave
You
the
want to talk about weirdos? There was one time I was in line to get Andy Pettit's autograph, and they kind of took him away. Like, all right, he's had enough for the day. He's got to go get changed, whatever. This lady walks up and asked if she could keep his water bottle.
The fuck?
Yeah.
That's a weird move.
Security's
hell?
like, no,
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
not gonna allow
Keep it
that.
moving, Toots. Sorry about you.
Thanks, COVID lady.
One last
Sorry
thing.
about
Clyde Edwards-Helaire been ruled out today for Kansas City.
There you go. Patty over 320. Fucking lock. Dad loves the Browns today. It's insane how much he loves them.
Don't say that so loud; it'll fuck up the odds.
Show the audience your undershirt.
There you go.
Yeah, he's got the orange.
That's
Yeah.
it. We're
Oh,
not
real
messing
quick.
around.
Sorry, I know we're having fun here. So at the Columbia football game in high school. Funny story about that sweater. So we walk in and it's my high school team. I'm a freshman, so we're going to the varsity game. It's in the playoffs, and Dad wears this bright orange sweatshirt or whatever. And we're driving about halfway there. It's in Carterville, Illinois, little town. And Dad goes, I sit there and I go, what if the team color is orange? Like, what if the other team's orange? Like, blue and white's our high school colors, and he's wearing orange, like for the hell of it. And he goes, no, there's no way that happens. And we start driving through the town, and we see orange everywhere. And he goes, oh, fuck.
The same shade and everything.
Same
This is
shade,
perfect.
and it's just bright orange. Like, the entire thing is just bright orange. He walks into the stadium, and there's a sea of blue and white, all of our fans, and then there's a one orange dot in the middle of it. That's Dad. I went to the concession stand to get a soda or whatever, and I looked on the other sideline. There's Dad sitting there in an orange sweater. Did
you take a picture of it?
Oh, yeah. No, I don't know if I have that anymore, but we did back in the day.
You
You
should
can,
have
you
seen
can
all
chase
our
it down. I've loved it. We got to put that up on the show next week.
All our fans are like, he was a freshman, so nobody knew me or anything.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
all
like-
these guys in blue, and I'm in orange standing right next to him. Go Eagles! And the guys look at me. What the fuck is your problem?
Well, the best part was after the game, we got in the car, and these Carterville fans, we won the game. It's like semifinals, big deal. And Dad rolls down the window. These Carterville fans are walking by, and Dad goes, "Hey, get down, get down." We got down, and he's in this orange shirt, and he goes, "Man, we suck this year, don't we?" And he peels out, and these Carterville fans go, who the fuck is that guy? Hilarious.
That was a good time.
Oh, God. All right, that'll do it, guys. Good luck here in the divisional round. We're looking forward to conference championship. Are we going to do a show on Pro Bowl? I know we did last year, but there wasn't much to talk about.
Stay tuned. We'll talk about it.
We'll decide about it, but we will be back for conference matchups next Sunday here at 10 a.m. So good luck this week for Tolly, for Dad, for Zook, for Nick in Reno. I'm TJ Weber.